All right, guys. Stone is sick today and running a high fever, so I am going to be out today, which means you guys are going to need to get started on the first part of our build, and you'll need to just use this video to kind of help you with what you're supposed to be getting done today. So within Canvas, you are going to go to the 222 Mechanical Gears assignment. You're going to notice that there are several documents here. We are just going to be worried about this first one here. When we open that up, you're going to see, again, it repeats mechanical gears assignment. You are going to first get started building this structure that is shown here on the right-hand side. Okay, it's the bottom base plate. It's your 5x25 plate. It's your large C-channel. We have standoffs at each corner. There is a standoff in the middle. However, you can leave that off if you'd like, or your group can choose to put that in there. You need at least the 4 standoffs. And then that structure is bolted down to your base plate. Again, when choosing your bolts, both for the standoffs and to put this structure onto the base plate, you need to make sure that you choose the smallest bolts possible. Remember, the bolts will thread directly into the standoffs. When you put it through here on the base plate, you'll need to lift the structure up, and on the bottom, from the bottom side of the base plate, you'll put one of the keep nuts. Remember to put that skirted side of the keep nut facing the metal so that it grips on there. Okay. Off to the side here, you will see a basic kind of list of these same parts. The only thing I'm suggesting that you change out of this here is don't use the 1-inch standoffs. It's a really small standoff, and that space in between the C-channel and the plate would not end up giving you enough room to put fingers to be able to manipulate and put other parts. And so it gets really difficult as you're learning to build, having that small, tight area. So I suggest using 2-inch, 3-inch, or 4-inch standoffs instead. The standoffs are located at the front of the room. There are 2 cabinets of parts, 2 little cabinets. It's the one on the right-hand side around the middle. So it's the same side that the Kleenex box is sitting on. And you'll see the different drawers of 2-inch, 3-inch, and 4-inch standoffs. If we run out of standoffs, over by my telephone, there are 2 parts kits boxes. One of them is my parts kits box, which stays there. The other has a bunch of extra standoffs in it. So you are welcome to go ahead and open that box up, and you can leave it on my desk for the other class to see as well, so that you're able to get those extra standoffs. But again, leave my parts kits box over by the telephone, and the one that has standoffs in it you can get and just put it on my desk. Okay. After you get this structure built here, you are going to start on the very first system. First off, ignore the questions off to the side. We will talk about these and deal with these later. You're just going to be concerned with the structure build today. So you will take 2 60-tooth gears. Those are the bigger gears that are in your kits. And you will use a shaft that goes through. Remember, you will need to use bearing flats and push rivets anywhere that the shaft goes through. So since it feeds first through the plate and then through the C-channel for the first gear, and then the same, it goes first through the plate, then through the C-channel for the second, you will have 4 bearing flats that you use and a total of 2 push rivets for each one. So you'll have a bearing flat and push rivets here, bearing flat and push rivets on the back. Again, bearing flat and push rivets on the back here, and another bearing flat and push rivets on the front. It doesn't matter whether you put the bearing flats and push rivets on the inside, between the area, or whether you have it on the outside. That's up to your group to choose. Just make sure that your bearing flats and push rivets sandwich your metal piece, so they shouldn't both be fed from the same side. This crank piece here, do not worry about getting that. Do not get that out. It is a common part, so I don't want any cranks in any of your kits. When I come in to check these things on Wednesday, while you guys are out doing e-learning, I'll be checking your builds in the classroom. So I don't want to see any cranks that are in your kits. Don't even get them out. After you get this base structure built and then you have A assembled, go ahead and clean up for the day, which that would be enough to take you through the end of the class period for most groups. But I want to see how you get this first one put together and check it. Okay. While you are out on Wednesday, I put an announcement in that lets you know, and it links it over to the e-learning work, so work for e-learning. And then if you click here, it takes you into the actual assignment, which is also titled e-learning February 5th. You'll open this gear ratios assignment. There's a little bit of reading, a tiny bit of math, but you will be going through and calculating the gear ratios, which will give us a better understanding of why we might choose to use two gears that are the same size, or why we might choose to use two gears that are different sizes. And then also why we might say we want the big gear to be our starting gear or our input, or the small gear to be our input or our starting gear. So gear ratios are going to be directly related to the speed of how your mechanism is going to move, and that will transfer all the way to the end at our final project at the end of the quarter when you guys are building your dragster, because you'll want to choose a mechanism that functions fast, and gear ratio will help us to determine what will be the best option for your car at the end. Okay, so again, you're going to build this structure, then get started on A. You may start it, you may not even finish it. That's okay. I want one of you guys to assist our guest teacher and have an alarm. Go ahead and set an alarm for 3 minutes prior to the class period ending, so that you guys have time to clean up at the end. Remember, it is your responsibility to clean up. You'll need to make sure that you check the floor, the chairs, the tables, and also make sure to check your iPad magnets and make sure that everything is cleaned up prior to leaving. So one of you in third period, one of you in fourth period, go ahead and let the guest teacher know that you're volunteering, as I've asked for one of you to do, and have that alarm set so that you are able to clean up in time to head to your next location. I will again be checking your builds on Wednesday while you are out doing e-learning, and then we will pick back up on Thursday and get your notes set up and continue on with the rest of the builds.